news. Despite having constitutional and legislative protection of the rights of people of a different sexual orientation in South Africa, the country continues to see an apparent sharp spike in the number of attacks against LGBTQI plus people. Justice and Correctional Services Department officials have admitted that despite the efforts to curb the rising hate crimes in the country, there is still that continuing attack on people who identify as members of the LGBTQI community. For more on this then, let's talk to activists Yaya Mavundla, Kim Lithgow and Ayanda Maposa. Thank you so much to you all for being with us. If I can start with you, Yaya, we've just come out of Pride Month in June. A lot of companies and many people putting up the rainbow flag and other banners in solidarity with the LGBTQI community. Has it helped? Does it make a difference?
Hi, thank you so much for having me, and hi to everybody listening, watching at home. I'm not going to say we don't appreciate what the companies has done, and I just wish that the same energy that has been used by these companies was actually used also by the government. Yes, in terms of visibility, yes, it has done something, but I just wish the government has done something.
Kim, let me come to you because you work with an activist group, and one of the concerning issues whenever we have conversations about attacks on the queer community is about how accurate the available data is. Just listening to the Justice and Correctional Services Department speaking last month, there are about 42 pending hate crimes. 30 of them, so disturbingly, were murders. But that number is likely much higher, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and especially for LGBT people. As far as we know, since February the 12th, there have been 16 known LGBT murders of lesbians, trans, and sexually and gender diverse people. And there's been nothing from the Department of Justice. We've been waiting for them to pass a hate crimes bill. And their main sort of argument or excuse is that they can't pass it now because they're waiting for Constitutional Court to rule on the John Kwelani case, which is a case about hate speech. Now, we know that laws have been passed in the past where they have divided up the actual bill. So they could do that with the hate crimes bill. They could pass the hate crimes bill a section. They could leave the hate speech section for discussion and enacting that another day. But for right now, they need to actually pass a hate crime section so that we can stop these murders. And at the moment, our cries are falling on deaf ears. We've written letters to Parliament. We have given open letters to newspapers. We've met as well with the Department of Justice, and still they are not passing the hate crimes bill. They are not addressing the secondary victimization that victims are facing in police stations. So there's a lot that could be done, and they are choosing to sit back and wait while more people are being murdered. This is unacceptable.
Ayanda Maposa, let me come to you there. South Africans who say, well, and even government has said this as well, that the Constitution of South Africa in its current state does grant LGBTQI plus people protection. But talk about why it's so desperately needed that we see more legislation, more protection.
Well, I mean, on paper we look good. You know, we can get married, we can hold hands whenever we're on the streets. But we need those, we need to implement them. We need to see those things in action. We need to, when you're passing like a bill or something, we need to see action. When you kill an LGBT person, you need to be crucified. You need to go to jail. You know, we need justice. We can't look good on paper, but action speaks louder than words. So we need action as LGBTQ plus community,
Yeah, let me get your experience as a trans woman of South Africa, even with all this legislation that says you are protected. Do you feel protected?
Absolutely not. I mean, just yesterday, I went to open a case because I had somebody then posing as somebody that wants assistance from me, and only to find that that person came with vile intentions. and they actually made it clear that, their intention was actually to end up having to kill me, had been met. And it's unfortunate that when I went to the police station, the police did not exactly know if they open a case, what they opening a case for. But even when I'm saying, but this is harassment, you need to find this person because I'm in danger, especially because I'm in a public eye. I could meet up with somebody thinking this person, probably loves my work or have watched my shows, and only to find that they want to kill me. So specifically as a transgender woman, it is terrifying. I know there are many trans people that go through so much, and they can't even go to police stations to report these cases because when they get there, I mean, they are like they are made fun of. Even before I was on television, I remember I had like 3 cases that were pending. I was once attacked by security at the apartment where I used to live. And when I went to the police station to report the matter, nothing was really done with it.
And when you went to the police station yesterday, did you find that there was a change in attitude? Were you ultimately able to have that case opened against the person harassing you?
So only when they found out who I was, then they were willing to assist me. But before then, I think one of the officers then pitched and oh my gosh, how it's Yaya? Oh my gosh, I watched your show. And then only then, because then now they recognize me, they're like, oh yeah, let's find a way that we're going to assist you. Then only then they were able to open a case. But before then I think of many other trans people that, don't have the voice or the platform. What do they then do?
Ayanda, you are agreeing, I hear you there in the background. Have you had a similar experience, especially with law enforcement and the people who are supposed to enforce the laws that protect gay people in this country?
Yes, 2 weeks ago I was attacked in Maboneng. I was stabbed. One of my friends also was stabbed. He identifies as a gay man. And we went to open a case at the police station, and I was asked to repeat my full names, which are on my ID. I haven't changed my ID. I'm still in my process for my ID. So my ID still says female. So now it was the whole conversation. What is transgender? Why are you transitioning? So now we changing the topic to, I'm a victim here. I'm here to report a crime, to why are you transitioning? That's why they're attacking you guys, because you're a confused bunch of people, So I ended up not opening the case because we had a lot of fights in the police station because why are you transitioning? Now it's all about my transitioning, instead of my case. So we are not protected when it comes to police people. We always ask questions. We always victimized. We always blamed. You provoke that person to attack you. So we end up not even going to the police stations. That's useless,
And that takes us to the earlier point, Kim, about the usefulness of even bringing forward a hate crimes bill where at enforcement level there is this attitude that, as Ayanda was saying, even deters the reporting of crimes. Are you finding any change at all in the attitudes of police?
Not as yet. So basically what the hate crimes bill would do is it would force government to actually train the police so that they would know how to treat people when they come to the police station. It would also give us statistics of exactly how many hate crimes there are. So that's why we need to start there, because we need the stats. We need to be proactive, because a hate crime is not just a crime. It's not just a murder. It's not just harassment. It's the motive is discrimination. So when we come to addressing and proactively stopping crimes from happening, we have to address that discrimination. Once we can address that discrimination, then we will see the dropping down of the rates of crimes. But we need to, as everybody's been saying, we need to implement what is there. We need to implement new ways as well, because just what we've had in the past, it's not enough. More has to be done.
And Yaya, you made a point earlier about the fact that your experience at a police station just yesterday was changed only when the police officers realized that you work in television and they recognized you at that point. But even a degree of fame or a public profile doesn't necessarily guarantee you safety in South Africa, does it?
No, it doesn't, unfortunately, because now, like I said earlier, I could walk into a space and I get somebody following me thinking they love my work, but only because now and I show them love back thinking they giving me love, only to find that they are actually coming to harm me. But also, what I've realized with a lot of shows that are happening, also like LGBTI visibility that is happening on television, it triggers a lot of things with homophobes, and I feel like now they're in a space where they want to target us that are in the public space. So they actually teaching everyone else that, hey, this is what they can do, because they know if something happens to Yaya, then it's going to be all over the news. And then, of course, the community is going to be scared. And they know very well that the government is not doing anything. I mean, how many LGBTI matters have we seen like recently? Just this year alone. Has the government said anything? Nothing. Community of safety? Nothing. The president is speaking every Sunday, but we're not hearing anything from him saying anything about the LGBTI community. The police don't care, actually, because they are a part of the problem.
Ayanda, you were harassed recently as well in Maboneng, and you said your experience at the police station was so bad that you now actually do not feel that you're up to going back there to try and have a case opened if something like this happens again in future. There are people who also say in South Africa, some of them homophobic, we must say, that what LGBTQI plus people need to then do is just not go into spaces where you know you're not going to be safe. How do you respond to that?
Oof, wow. Wow. I don't know how, but I feel the same way, that I'm not going to go to a space where I don't feel safe. Police station is one place that I need to feel safe. I can't be explaining my life, who I sleep with, what do I have in my pants, I don't know. All I can say is that I wish the police station would have a department where a section where is for LGBTQ plus people, where they can go and report their crimes. Because also in our communities we have a gay men who rape other gay men, lesbian or trans people who can rape. So we need to have that sector that we can report our own crimes there. If we only have that in police station. But I will agree with people. Even if we get attacked right now, if I get attacked right now in the street, I won't go to the police station, because I'm still going to get more attacked. If I'm not going to be thrown in jail and say they're going to teach me a lesson or correct me, be a normal woman, then yeah, let's just leave it. We're just going to voice out our cries on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Hopefully we're going to get justice there. But me going to a police station, that's the waste of my time and creating more trauma in this body. No. Yeah.
I'm so sorry for both yours and Yaya's experiences in the last few days, and there shouldn't be any no-go areas in this country because of one's sexual orientation, and we'll continue to watch this until things eventually change. For now, though, thank you to activists Yaya Mavundla, Kim Lithgow, and Ayanda Maposa. Thank you all for your time.